Peace, love, and blessings. This is the Sacred Empress Alitash, your melanated Mayan mystic, and today I'm going to be talking about the Yellow Warrior Wave Spell. Let's get into it. So, when I talk about the Yellow Warrior Wave Spell, I am talking about a wave spell. And what is a wave spell, you might ask? A wave spell is a span of time, 13 units or stages. It can be 13 days, 13 moons or months, or 13 years. The Mayan number of 13 is sacred. It's not a static number, but it's a description of movement that is shaped in a waveform, a process of ongoing creation that we tap into as spirit energy. 13 tones shift daily, monthly, yearly, and so on. And by following the token or the Mayan calendar, 260 days, 20 wave spells, this connects us to nature through ocean. We can track and shift for ourselves, and we can learn a lot and embrace our power. And when I talk about the 13 tones, I'm talking about the spirit energy in which we can tap into at any time. This is a physical representation of the wave spell, and it's all about action. And so once we decide that we need to do and to act, this is the spirit energy cycle that allows us to access our power. So these are the 13 tones or spirit energy. You see them all the time, but this is the background to one, identify purpose. What are my goals? Tone two, identify challenge. What are the obstacles? Three, identify service. How can the goal be attained? Four, identify form. What is the form of action? Five, take command, gather resources. Six, command equality, administer challenge. Seven, command attunement, attune service to action. Eight, command integrity, action attains form. Tone 9, formalize action. Action set into motion. Tone 10, manifest challenge. Action and challenge meet. Tone 11, liberation of service. Action dissolves service. Cooperation of form. Roundtable meets. Past actions are formalized and future actions prepared. Tone 13, take magic flight. Magnetic return. So we are currently in the ripen or harvest cycle. This is a 52-day cycle that teaches us the blueprint to use our magic to manifest and how to deal with our manifestations. This is our foundation of four. This is the blueprint in which we ripen and harvest. It is going on from the 26th of March up until May 16th. But we can manifest, ripen, and harvest at any time when we know the blueprint. So the yellow warrior wave spell is the ripen of the ripen cycle. When we talk about ripen, it's to become or make ripe, to develop to the point of readiness, fully matured, and a suitable time has arrived. So we are here. We have arrived when we are in the ripen of the ripen cycle. So let's dive into the yellow magnetic warrior. This is a very important wave spell in that we have moved through the cycles of harvest. I'm sorry, yes, of the ripen cycle, of the harvest cycle. And this is where we start to see the gains from our actions. And so it's important during this time that we ask the questions that need to be asked. We need to have a curiosity and an openness which allows us to question, which allows us to move forward being fearless. So once The wave spell previous to this is the blue night wave spell. We go into our night, we go into our shadows, and we see what lives there. And once we have gained our dreams and our fears, and we know what we have already, which is compounded, or we put that together with the full moon, I'm sorry, the new moon in Taurus that we just had, and we're still in the energy of. And once we know what we have, then we know what we need to ask questions about to add to what we know. And so we need to be able to ask these questions without fear. So we tapped into our fears and will hold us back. And now we are moving away from that in this spectral tone of liberation. And so we are able to ask the questions that we need to ask to get the information that we need to know, which we also talked about in the spirit of liberation. What we know heals us, and we can accomplish even more. And so we do that by being able to tap into a natural intelligence, the natural intelligence that we have inside ourselves, the natural intelligence which created us and is how we got here. And we're able to experience trust. We're able to tap into our inner voice. We're able to have divine communication. The yellow magnetic warrior is ruled by Saturn, so this puts us in a delay, but this delay is a state of grace. There's something that we need to see, there's something that we need to know before we move forward. We need to understand what we've just experienced. And so, with that being said, we're able to move forward. This is the energy of the warrior. So this means pressing forward, persevering, which again taps us into the new moon in Taurus, and we move with precision, we move with knowledge and purpose. So in the ripen cycle, we know that the yellow is harvest, is wisdom, is maturity. We question fearlessly intelligence. The yellow warrior is in the earth family of the cardinal. So the yellow warrior establishes the genesis, it establishes the birth, it establishes the gene. And isn't that interesting? The new moon is in the blue storm, which we self generate. So that aspect of powering and giving life and birth to ourselves is started, and definitely moves forward in the yellow warrior wave spell. And so when we break down the yellow warrior wave spell, we cannot talk about the yellow warrior without the crew or the destiny kin. And this gives us further insight in how we tap into the yellow warrior. So we tap into it with our best friend. Who is the best friend? Sitting in the spot of the analog is the blue knight. We just spent 13 days focusing on the blue night. When we tap into our dream, we follow our intuition, and we receive and get more information about our abundance and where it lives within us. So we've already been there, so it's familiar, and we can tap into it at will. So when we go to the bottom, this is the energy that will initiate for us during this yellow warrior wave spell, and that is the red serpent, and it's moving behind the scenes. What did you survive? How were you surviving? What instincts, what habits are you tapping into? And what is your life force? Okay, and then when we move to the left, we have the white world bridger. This is our challenge, and this is where we get our gifts by adjustments, by detoxing, taking the negativity out, adjusting, organizing, moving things around, making things pure. The world bridger does that for us by putting everything on an equal footing. We can see what our opportunities are and what needs to die a natural death can go. And last but not least, the yellow warrior is the guide. And we are guided by asking our questions that need to be asked, knowing that we're going to get the answers that we need to receive. We just have to ask them being fearless without fear. So that when we focus on the wave spell, we start with that magnetic tone of purpose. So the very first day gives us our purpose and sets the tone for the next 13 days. And so, what are you vibing with? What are you one with? Because this vibration will attract your purpose. So, are observant of what shows up on the first day of the yellow warrior wave spell, and that will show your purpose for the next 13 days. And so it is important to note that Saturn rules the yellow warrior. So within the yellow warrior, there's also order, structure. There will be obstacles, there will be patience needed. We need to tap into our discipline, and we know that we're going to have to work hard, and we may experience some seeming delays. But again, we just need to remember that any delay is a state of grace that is granted to us, and it's going to allow us to look around, be very present, and see some things that we need to know to move forward on our journey. Now, it's also important to note the planetary hour, because this is another energy in which we're going to be able to tap into. So not only is it going to be important that we tap into Saturn and any delays that we need, um, we're going to be able to set up discipline. We're going to persevere. We are going to um, be very present and see what we need to see. And the moon is going to help us as well as we're tapping into our memories, our emotions, our habits, our moods, our imagination, our rhythm. What is going on in our subconscious? What is that tape that's playing every single time something happens? It's going to take us back to something we've already experienced. So, this is always working in the back, so it's kind of tapping into that red serpent energy. How did you survive? What your instincts were, and what is your life force? Because that rhythm that you find yourself in is what's going to be able to propel you forward. It lets you know what the cycle is, and that is very important to note. So I always talk about the planetary hour because it's just as important um, in any energy that's going on in any given day. So we have two chakras that we're going to tap into with the Yellow Warrior Wave spell. One is the third eye chakra. We can get enlightenment, awareness. We can transcend time. We can see with our spiritual eye deeper into what's going on. Some stones that we can use to activate that third eye is sapphire, moonstone, lapis, and sodalite, azurite as well. And some herbs and oils we can use is the blue chamomile and eucalyptus. So the blue chamomile allows us to relax and be more gentle as we are looking beyond the visible eye. As we're asking questions, we're going to ask questions based on what we see with that third eye chakra. And we have to be fearless because we're going to be tapping into our intelligence and natural intelligence. And so to tap into that energy, again, we want to use Om. So Om is a bija mantra that helps us to tap into the third eye chakra. The second chakra that we're going to be working with during this wave spell is the throat chakra. We know the throat chakra is our communication center, is our area of creativity and self-expression. In order to tap in that chamomile, lang lang, and lavender. So chamomile. So that's letting us know it's important that we're relaxed. Um, and that we're not moving from a place of anxiety, we're not moving from a place of angst, but just really vocalizing where we are, where we want to be, and what we need to know or what we need in order to get there. Turquoise, blue agate, blue topaz, aquamarine are all stones that help maintain and help us utilize our throat chakra effectively. Other oils and herbs, as well as chamomile, are lavender and lang lang. So, lang lang and lavender also allow us to relax, and so we can say what we need to say, which taps into the warrior when we have to ask the questions that we need to have answers to, and asking those without fear. And the Bija mantra to help us tap into the throat chakra as well is Hum. So again, we are in the ripen cycle with the yellow warrior wave spell, and this is the harvest of the harvest. And that is my yellow wave spell presentation. I hope you liked it. Some readings and services that will help you to connect with yourself as the Mayan birth reading. Um, the Mayan birth reading allows you to find out more about yourself and how you move and operate. Also, one of the most popular services that I have is the Mayan Moon Mondays calendar subscription. This allows you to follow the calendar in PDF form. You get all the information that's going on from day to day with the calendar. Um, and you also get a PDF of the moon energy or the spirit energy of that month. And then we're currently in the ripen cycle. This allows you to um, get the blueprint for manifestation. It allows you to get a booklet that not only outlines those things, but lets you know where we are with the Western astrology as well. You know what signs the moon is in, and therefore, um, also getting a customized version of what house it is, like you know where these energies are actively resonating in your life. So again, this is the Sacred Empress Alitash from Melanated Mayan Mystic, and these are the places that you can find me online. Um, and also don't forget to like, share, subscribe, heart, all the important things. Um, And also, there's a link to my website as well, um, my Cash App and PayPal as well. These are the places you can reach me. Thank you so much for your time. Enjoy your day. Peace, love, and blessings.